Hello everyone, we are back today at the reading of 1001 Nights. We had stopped yesterday on the daughter of the vizier was telling him that she will go to the king as his bride, and the vizier was telling her not to do it and to listen to this story about the donkey, the bull, and the husbandman. And so we're going to start with that today, the donkey, the bull, and the husbandman and their story. So the vizier is talking to his daughter, Shahrazad. "Know, O my daughter," said the vizier, "that there was a certain merchant who possessed wealth and cattle, and had a wife and children. And God, whose name be exalted, had also endowed him with the knowledge of the languages of beasts and birds. The abode of this merchant was in the country, and he had in his house a donkey and a bull. When the bull came to the place where the donkey was tied, he found it swept and sprinkled. In his manger were sifted barley and sifted cut straw, and the donkey was lying at his ease, his master being accustomed only to ride him occasionally when business required, and soon to return. And it happened one day that the merchant overheard the bull saying to the donkey, 'May thy food benefit thee! I am oppressed with fatigue, while thou art enjoying repose. Thou eatest sifted barley, and men serve thee, and it is only occasionally that thy master rides thee and returns, while I am continually employed in ploughing and turning the mill.' The donkey answered, 'When thou goest out to the field, and they place the yoke upon thy neck, lie down, and do not rise again, even if they beat you. Or, if you rise, lie down a second time. And when they take thee back and place the beans before thee, eat them not, as though thou wert sick. Abstain from eating and drinking a day, or 2 days, or 3, and so shalt thou find rest from trouble and labor.' Accordingly, when the driver came to the bull with his fodder, he ate scarcely any of it. And on the morrow, when the driver came again to take him to plough, he found him apparently quite infirm. So the merchant said, 'Take the ass, take the donkey, and make him draw the plough and his steed all day.' The man did so. And when the donkey returned at the close of the day, the bull thanked him for the favor he had conferred upon him by relieving him of his trouble on that day. But the donkey returned no answer, for he repented most grievously. On the next day, the plowman came again, and took the donkey, and plowed with him till evening. And the donkey returned with his neck flayed by the yoke, and reduced to an extreme state of weakness. The bull looked upon him and thanked him and praised him. The donkey exclaimed, 'Ha, ha! I was living at ease, and naught by my meddling hath injured me.' Then said he to the bull, 'Know that I am one who would give thee good advice. I heard our master say, if the bull rise not from his place, take him to the butcher, that he may kill him and make a carpet of his skin. I am therefore in fear for thee, And so I have given you the advice, and peace be on thee." When the bull heard these words of the donkey, he thanked him and said, "Tomorrow I will go with alacrity." So he ate the whole of his fodder and even licked the manger. Their master, meanwhile, was listening to the conversation. On the following morning, the merchant and his wife went to the bull's crib and sat down there, and the driver came and took out the bull. And when the bull saw his master, he shook his tail and showed his alacrity by sounds and actions, bounding about in such a manner that the merchant laughed until he fell backwards. His wife, in surprise, asked him, "At what dost thou laugh?" He answered, "At a thing that I have heard and seen, but I cannot reveal it. For if I did, I would die." She said, "Thou must inform me of the cause of thy laughter, even if thou die." "I cannot reveal it," said he. "The fear of death prevents me." "Thou laughest only at me," she said. And she ceased not to urge him and importune him until he was quite overcome and distracted. So he called together his children and sent for his qadi and witnesses, that he might make his will and reveal the secret to her, and die. For he loved her excessively, since she was the daughter of his paternal uncle and the mother of his children. And he had lived with her to the age of 120 years. That's a long time. Having assembled her family and his neighbors, he related to them his story and told them that as soon as he revealed his secret, he must die. Upon which everyone present said to her, "We conjure thee by Allah that thou give up this affair, and let not thy husband and the father of thy children die." But she said, "I will not desist until he tell me, though he die for it." So they ceased to solicit her, and the merchant left them and went to the stable to perform the ablution, and then to return and tell them the secret and die. Now he had a rooster with 50 hens under him, and he had also a dog. And he heard the dog call to the rooster and reproach him, saying, "Art thou happy when our master is going to die?" The rooster asked, "How so?" And the dog related to him the story, upon which the rooster exclaimed, "By Allah, our master has little sense. I have 50 wives, and I please this, and I provoke that, while he had but one wife, cannot manage this affair with her. Why does he not take some twigs of mulberry tree, enter her chamber, beat her until she dies or repents? She would never after that ask him a question respecting everything." And when the merchant heard the words of the rooster, as he addressed the dog, he recovered his reason and made up his mind to beat her. I don't know what to say here. "Now," said the vizier to his daughter Shahrazad, perhaps I may do to thee as the merchant did to his wife." She asked, "And what did he?" He answered, he entered her chamber after he had cut off some twigs of the mulberry tree and hidden them there, and then said to her, "Come into the chamber, that I may tell thee the secret while no one sees me, and then die." And when she had entered, he locked the chamber door upon her and beat her until she became almost senseless and cried out, "I repent!" And she kissed his hands and his feet and repented and went out with him. And all the company and her own family rejoiced, and they lived together in the happiest manner until death. When the vizier's daughter heard the words of her father, she said to him, "It must be as I have requested." So he arrayed her and went to the king Shahrayar. Now she had given directions to her younger sister, saying to her, "When I have gone to the king, I will send to request thee to come. And when thou comest to me and seest a convenient time, do thou say to me, 'O sister, relate to me some strange story to beguile our waking hour.' And I will relate to thee a story that shall, if it be the will of God, be the means of procuring deliverance." Her father, the vizier, then took her to the king, who, when he saw him, was rejoiced and said, "Hast thou brought me what I desired?" He answered, "Yes." When the king, therefore, introduced himself to her, she wept. And he said to her, "What aileth ye?" She answered, "O king, I have a young sister, and I wish to take leave of her." So the king sent to her, and she came to her sister and embraced her and sat near the foot of the bed. And after she had waited for a proper opportunity, she said, "By Allah, O my sister, relate to us a story to beguile the waking hour of our night." "Most willingly," answered Shahrazad, "if this virtuous king permits me." And the king, hearing these words, and being restless, was pleased with the idea of listening to a story. And thus, on the first night of the 1001, Shahrazad commenced her recitations. So tomorrow we shall meet again at 4, and we'll talk about the story that Shahrazad started with to tell King Shahrayar, thus delivering herself from dying. Until tomorrow, stay safe, stay home, be healthy, and thinking of all of you. Bye.